Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Raja Umar on my channel RU Speaks, and these days we are learning global perspectives. In the last lesson, I talked about the component 2. I talked about that how to make really very impressive individual report, and then in the next lesson, I talked about how to get rid of the plagiarism, how to be having the academic honesty, and how should be keeping the research integrity while making your individual report. So moving on to the next phase, that is there, as you know that this particular subject, global perspectives, is related to many sorts of skills that are supposed to be developed among the students. And I just thought that these skills development should be done with the students with the help of the teachers, that how these skills can be inculcated among the students while learning this particular subject. Now, for that sake, I made certain presentations. Now today we are going to talk about the identification skills. As you know that in your paper, very especially I'm talking about component 1, you are supposed to identify certain things, I mean certain facts over there, certain causes and consequences, that and you are also supposed to find out the knowledge claim or the vested interest, all these things which are supposed to identify out of those four sources given to you in your insert along with the paper. So it means that all these skills, they are really very important in attempting a paper in the best possible form. So today the topic is related to identification skills. First, do not forget to subscribe my channel RU Speaks. Raja Umar speaks for you for the subjects of global perspectives and Pakistan studies. I am taking all these components along with me, right? History, geography, and all the other three components of the global perspective subject. So what I recommend that do subscribe this channel. Definitely you will learn these three components, I mean history, geography of Pakistan studies, and all three components of global perspective, that is the written exam, individual report, and the team project in the best way. So I need your support regarding this channel, that you are supposed to be learning really good. Definitely it will be a give and take sort of situation, and you will be having really greater learning over here on my channel. So do not forget to subscribe this one and then watch your videos of your interest and of your subjects. Definitely there is something for you. So today we're going to talk about the skills development, and we are having this particular presentation with us, that is the development of identification skills, that how these skills should be developed among you so that you can be able to attempt few questions which are related to the skill development in the best way. So we are going to talk about how the identification skills can be developed among you. So this is our topic for today. So it is a really greater learning approach towards global perspectives if you learn these skills really very effectively for the sake of your subject of global perspectives. So in today's topic, we are going to discuss the identification skills. So developing identification skills is crucial for students' success, enabling them to analyze situations, make informed decisions, and engage critically with their surroundings. To take really good decisions, it is must that you must be informed really very well, and you should be having really very strong identification skills, so that you are supposed to identify the things and then to take decisions as per those identifications. So for this one, what you need to do, enhancing your critical thinking. These skills help students assess information effectively and develop strong analytical abilities. This or that. This is what we call the analytical skills or analytical abilities. We say that whether this is really very harmful for the humanity or this one, whether seeking education is important or providing health facilities. So in this way, the students are having the analytical skills among them to decide that which one can be really very important in what way, and in which society, or in which area, or in which country, or around the globe. This is how they can be having really broader perspectives regarding any of the issues. So now they can be having the building confidence while developing their identification skills. Students gain confidence in their decision making abilities, leading to increased participation and engagement in the learning process. So, whenever they will be having these stronger identification skills, and on the basis of that, they will be having really very stronger critical thinking. And on the basis of that critical thinking, they will be developing their confidence. On the basis of that confidence, they will be performing well. And in this way, when they will have more ideas in their minds, definitely they will be having better coordination with their fellows, and this will create the fostering collaboration. Identification skills encourage teamwork and collaboration, allowing students to share insights and learn from each other. If you have certain ideas in your mind and you have identified them with the help of your critical thinking skills, and definitely you will be having that confidence in you, and on the basis of that confidence you will be able to say out louder your point of view in some gathering, that will create a collaboration while discussing all those things with your fellows. So key metrics of engagement regarding the identification skills: 75% students participation rate, and 20% skills improvement rate, and 90% increased student confidence because of the identification skills. So these percentages are quite higher, that as much the student will participate over here, that will improve the skill rate of the student, and overall the confidence booster will be quite high, that is 90% or above. So these are the key engagements related to the identification skills. Developing identification skills now. So skill development tiers, that what are the stages of skill development, whether basic, intermediate, or advanced. Let's move on to find out how. Explore or skill development programs designed to enhance identification skills among students at various levels of learning. Basic, fundamental strategies for beginners to start developing skills. How? Just to reading out the newspaper, or listening to the news bulletins, or some such channels having the information in them, and you are able to identify the information out of that which in the information is really very helpful for humanity, and which ones are maybe having some bias or some personal interest, or what we call the vested interest. So intermediate level, enhanced techniques and group activities for skill improvement. Here you can say this can be some sort of individual work, but over here you may be having some group activities to build up your identification skills while being in groups, in collaboration, discussion, and that would be the confidence booster for you, and you will be learning better. So advanced, comprehensive immersion in real life applications and expert guidance. So this is the actual thing we want to achieve out of the skill development in this particular phase, the identification skills. We want that each and every student must be so much comprehensive in his or her skill development that he will be able to apply those skills very, very effectively in the process of learning. Skill development timeline. This timeline outlines key milestones in developing identification skills among the students, highlighting significant program implementation and feedback. As you know that in this particular subject of global perspectives, we set certain deadlines for the students that we will be able to sum up the component 1 up to this point, and then component 2 up to this point, and then team project up to this point, the component 3. So in the same way, as if we start the session in August 2025, we will introduce this program to the students, I mean the subject of global perspectives. Then in December, when our first term would be over, in December 2025, first student feedback, that would be the mid-year examination. In those examinations, we will be knowing that how much skills the students might have learned out of the whole of the process of learning for full one term from August to December. And then in June 2006 next year, when they will be entering for their end of year examination, then we can, at that particular point, we can assess whether the skills development program is done or it should be expanded to the further. I mean, we should be making certain other learning strategies for the students so that they may be entering into the better learning process and must be understanding the things in even better way as they were unable to learn in the previous session. So interactive activities overview. For the sake of developing the identification skills among the students, the teachers, they may design certain activities for the students, that group discussions on identification skills, case studies for real world applications, reflection prompts for personal growth, or role play scenarios for skill practices. So I will explain all these activity based learning processes of the identification skills in the coming slides. So let's move on to the first one. That is I say that is really very important. It is known as the newspaper activity, given this name by myself, as I say that for the sake of identification, the students must be having this activity really very regularly in school, in classroom, for the sake of this particular subject of global perspective, so that they may be having really good learning of the identification skills. So you can have the group activity of the students. As students, to read out the news stories, what you can do, that you are supposed to provide the students with certain newspaper cuttings, certain newspaper articles. For example, if you have 4 groups in your class, 4 students each, 16 students are sitting over there, divide them in 4 groups, give them 4 newspaper articles in print form, and ask them to identify the causes and consequences of the issue. First of all, identify what the issue is, what are the causes and consequences of that issue highlighted over there in that article, and what are the facts given over there, whether there is some knowledge claim or not, and whether there is some vested interest of the article writer or not. Try to find out all those identifications out of that article. So ask the students to read out the news story or article and identify the global, national, local perspectives out of that. So those are really very important, that students would be able to identify that which sentence portrays that this is related to the whole of the world, and which sentence or paragraph of that newspaper article is related to some country, Pakistan or any other country, or which particular paragraph is related to some locality in your area, in your surroundings. So in this way, if there is some point of view of a single person given over there, it means that some personal perspective is also there. So students will be able to identify the national perspective, the global perspective, the local perspective, and the personal perspective out of that article by themselves. So that would be a greater activity to learn that how to move on for the sake of attaining the identification skills. Ask them to enlist all perspectives given. Ask them the questions about those Why are these perspectives global, national, or local? How do these perspectives differ and why? So these sorts of questions you may ask them being the teacher from them over there while analyzing those newspaper stories or articles while the activity of identification skills. So here you can see that this is how you can give certain newspaper cuttings to them so that they will be able to identify the issues and the causes and consequences of the issues and global and national, local and personal perspectives out of them, and try to find out the facts out of them, whether there is some biasness over there in that article or not, and whether there is some vested interest is there some knowledge claim given, some statistical data is given, whether that statistical data is having some resourceful or not, or it is just a data which may not be authenticated. And students should be able to analyze further that whether the whole of the article is having the reliability or credibility or not, how much authentic the information is given in that article. Now, the second activity, that is the case study activity. Show a brief case study to the students on multimedia and ask them to identify the key issues discussed in it, identify the causes and consequences of the issue, find out some viable solution given in the case study if given or not, identify the key sources used in the case study. So all these are the identifications of the issue and identification of the causes consequences of the issue, and finding out some solution of that issue given in that case study, and whether the sources used in that case study are reliable or not. All these are the identifications. So here you can see I have posted a couple of links, web links, to find out that these are the links related to some case studies. If you just click on these links and show these case studies over there on multimedia to the students, if you get them downloaded, and you can give them in print form as well, they are of about 4 or 5 pages, and then you can also ask the students to work on them to find out the identification skills in them. So now the next one, that is the role play activity. Again, this can be done in groups. You can give certain different topics and the issues related to different topics to the students and ask them to write down smaller script, and that script can be played by these students, by each group over there in the classroom. Students should be given some global, national, or local issue to discuss in the form of role play and dialogues highlighting the issue, its causes and consequences, and varied perspectives on them by the students. One group should be given some global issue, second group should be given some national issue, and third group should be given some local issue. So in this way, there will be the identification of certain perspectives, whether some issue is global or some issue is national or some issue is local, and out of them multiple perspectives would come, and causes, consequences, and solution will also come over there. So that would be a greater activity to have the learning process really very good one in the form of identification skills. So this is how you can have the role play activities by asking the students to deliver the dialogues, whatever the point of view they have, and from their point of view, it will be identified whether that point of view is of global level or of national level or of local level, or even that's related to that particular student, I mean the local level, or that could be the personal one as well. So reflection. After that, asking them that what they have learned in these activities, from the newspaper activity, from case study activity, and from role play activity. How far these activities have built up their identification skills, and you ask them questions related to those things which came under discussion, related to the perspectives, related to the causes consequences, related to the solutions, related to the facts, related to the biasness, related to the knowledge claim and vested interest, all those things. Ask them the questions out of them, and then you will get a great reflection that how much they have learned from this activity in the classroom. And I will surely put in certain resources more and more over there on my channel, and you will be finding them over here. And you can find me on my YouTube channel RU Speaks, and my WhatsApp group is with the same name, that is RU Speaks. And you can find out my email address over there. One is the of my channel, and the other one is my personal email. And I will also share my contact numbers over there on the same slide. And this is all from my side today, the development of identification skills among the students. So do not forget to subscribe my channel. It's over from my side today. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.